Andy Pearce.
BBC Radio Leicester.
You know my happy chappy. Right, well, let's talk mental health matters. Why? Because it does. It's a very important thing that we break the mould. We break the stigma behind not talking. It's good to talk. Talking is, there's the old proverb, isn't it? People have been talking about proverbs and old sayings this week here on BBC Radio Leicester. I know Rupal was talking about it. I know Shruti was talking about it earlier on. A problem shared is a problem halved. There's an old proverb that I'm going to give you, all right? And it quite simply means when you talk about something, it can literally feel half as powerful just by talking about it. And that is why I birthed Mental Health Matters to highlight things that are going on, talk about projects that are going on, speak to amazing people that are immersed in the mental health world, like this chap right now, lovely Peter, who is part of Rethink Your Mind. How are you doing, Peter?
Yeah, good afternoon, Andy. Thanks very much for having us on today. That's great.
Mate, you're more than welcome. You are absolutely more than welcome. So first off, before we talk about the resource, the amazing resource that is you're bringing out, or you have brought out, should I say, let's talk about Rethink Your Mind. So can you tell us about Rethink Your Mind, what you do there, and let's go right back and why it was created?
Okay, so Rethink Your Mind was set up many moons ago. It was a project that I was working for an organisation in Leicester called CISO. We set up this, and we could set up wellbeing projects and set up this idea with Rethink Your Mind. I became kind of like the project manager of this, and it grew over many years. Managed to set up our own company in 2014, and then onwards from there, it's sort of just kind of escalated and grown into many different arenas. Really,
and what's the sole purpose of Rethink Your Mind?
Well, there's a few purposes really. I mean, one of the key factors with it was around kind of helping to change attitudes around mental health. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of the stigmas that are involved around mental health and the challenges that can be faced for people. But mental health often gets a bad rap. It gets so confused with illness. Whenever we talk about mental health, it gets really kind of condensed into illness. And it can be difficult. We go in to speak with students in colleges and many other places, and they find it difficult to when the words mental health, they can kind of close down a little bit. And it's trying to bring a really inclusive attitude, because it really is about our health. We all have it. It's all about how we can maintain and keep ourselves healthy and keep ourselves well. So we ask people from all over the country to submit and to enter things around things that keep them well and things that uplift them. So we have poetry and photography and art that come in from all over the country. And it's really great because it's all so individual to us, the things that inspire us. So, rock climbing or crochet, it's just, it's so vast and thingy. And that's the beautiful thing about it. We do have phenomenal art bits that come in, but it's really about what connects with you and expressing that to others and explaining why this thing uplifts you. And then these get selected to eventually become into a resource. And
the resource you are talking about is the Yellow Book, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, the Yellow Book was that was really born out of, because I had some really challenging times in my 20s,
right? And
I spent had a number of admissions to mental health hospital. It was about 11 months in total on the wards over the course of about 3 years, I think it was. So there's a number of admissions there, and it was really challenging. And especially at that time, we're going back about 16 years now. There wasn't so much of the resources and the support so much out there. My parents, my friends, family, they felt very alone. And so really what the book was about equipping people with not only empowering tools and things that they can do themselves to help support them, but also the connecting them to lots of different organizations, national charities that can support them if they needed any extra help, but also filling this with uplifting things that connect us and keep us well and uplift us, essentially. So it's kind of a big uplifting resource, really.
I think
you can dive into at any level.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. It's perfect. It gives you ideas of things to uplift you. It gives you stimulated images and things like that will uplift you. And if you are utilising it as a resource for the help, it gives you those resources as well.
Yes. I mean, the key thing for me was the tools that initially came in. There were being we had a therapist that worked in the CISO team and came and supported us all, became the manager of the company eventually, and the tools and the things that we developed in there. I started working with Claire Evans, who lives down in Sawbridgeworth, and she runs the Centre of Wellbeing.
Right.
And so we have lots of different therapists and different people that really are passionate about the modalities that they work in, and they often gift us and gift sort of the tools that they find the most empowering with the clients that they work with, that can be utilized very, very simply. And because I was finding that as soon as I implemented different tools into my life, it completely changed for the better. And everybody in the company that was working on it was completely changing their lives, to having no admissions and things like that. It's been about nearly 16 years since I had a last admission now. So it's.
And what sort of tools did you start by introducing into your life? Well,
there was many different tools within the book. Our whole idea is about options, because we're not one size fits all. It's all about finding different things. And so you will find when you get into the book that there will be things that just don't work for you, and that's kind of the point. It's more about finding the things that do. For me, it was things like mindfulness and sort of the more meditative practices and things that were really beneficial for myself. And I've been able to explore those in deeper stances. And I think that's the whole thing with the book. It kind of enables you to look into many sorts of different modalities and different things in there. So
you hit the nail on the head.
The tipping point, really.
You hit the nail on the head. You know, it's not one size fits all. And in the book, there are so many different resources to give people so many different ideas and opportunities and chances to reach out and, distract themselves or take themselves off certain thought journeys. Since you've started doing this, and since you created the Yellow Book, do you know, I mean, I know that you went online with it. So before that, you had a physical book, didn't you?
Yes. So we do have. I mean, the books have just grown. I mean, initially on the first project, there was about 10,000 that were printed that went out nationally.
The second amazing.
Time it was the same amount, and then we ran a personalised project. So we personalised the books for the Leicestershire Partnership NHS Trust. They took 10,000, which they disseminated across their services for people. And then the same for the University of Leicester, and the prison service in Leicester created their own personalised book as well.
Do you know how many copies you've got out of there? Do you know how many copies of the Yellow Book are floating around?
I was thinking about it the other day, because we've just ran a project with the University of Nottingham and Signet Health and things, and I believe it's around about. There must be about 45,000 books that have gone out since the project's inception. How
does that make you feel, knowing that 45,000
It's
resources?
Amazing. It really is wonderful, because the whole purpose of the book is that it was initially, when it was set up, it was about these books being a free gift that literally you could just pick up and take. So they just went out, and sometimes we would get these amazing emails from people who would, it really kind of touch their lives and help them to either speak out about something, or it helped them along on a journey and things. And it's just really wonderful to hear that, people, but now it's obviously to keep things running. We're a not-for-profit, small not-for-profit, but we just ask for a small fee just to help cover our costs and things, really.
That's fair enough. I've just had a message in. Is this and it runs really perfectly into the next question of, is this available as an audio book?
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
Would you like to take this one, Pete?
Yeah. So literally, we've created an audiobook in the past, and it's a fantastic way. In fact, during lockdown, University of Loughborough and University of Nottingham and Swansea took it on so that all the students and staff could download their own personal copy of the resource and also link it up with the online flipbook and things. So we have music and things that we create for the project, which also sits on the audio. And I work with Claire and Phil, the guitarist in Refuge, fantastic songwriter. And he helps develop some of the music for the mindful meditations. And we all kind of work together on helping to construct those things. And so there's kind of a series of body scan meditations that are on there, read by Claire. And then there's also the wellbeing tools from the book. And there's also kind of uplifting music created from the project as well.
So where can we find all of this? Where can we find the music, the audio book, the online flip book as well for the yellow book as well? It's online now, so you can get that as well.
Yeah, that's right. There's it's rethinkyourmind.co.uk. If you head over to there, you can get all of the bits and the resources. We've just launched a brand new single.
Yes. Now, did it go yesterday?
Yes, that's right. Yes, yeah. So we ran we created a song this time, which we'd enabled people. We thought this would be a fantastic way to instigate the entries into the project. Yeah. So we asked for we'd run the project a couple of times at a primary school and a college, and it had gone down really well for all ages, really. So we thought it's a great way because people create the art or the photography based upon either the lyrics or how the song makes them feel. And we've got so many music artists, Lucy Ward, Kitten Pyramid, Barkhouse and the Myers, and our guys Refuge, who wrote the song, and everybody kind of layered their vocals over it. Adam from Deadline Studios in Leicester, he orchestrated this choir sort of parts, which then we're able to go into Desford Primary School and record the children singing on the track as well. So it's so
uplifting.
Yes, it was a massive, and then to work with. There was Emma Faye and Lucy Crew, Lucy created animation to some of the winning entries, and Emma is a body artist who created kind of
the video for it with the body art is phenomenal, like that. How long did that take, by the way? If you're wondering, right, so there's a video that goes along with this song that you're going to hear in a minute, and the video online is the body art being created, and then I assume some of it being filmed as in a time lapse function.
Time lapse, yeah.
It's brilliant. How long did that take?
Oh, to be honest, you'd have to ask Emma. For me, from watching it took about a minute to watch it. But no, it takes, I mean, she's done amazing work. Some of the stuff, she's a local Leicester lady. And I mean, she's worked with the, with the Olympic team. Doing body art with them. I think Joss Stone as well. And I think Sky One. So we're so privileged that she really feels the project and what it's about, and so she kind of kindly supports the work and helps it, really. So it's so the video's been that's been released as well. It's all a bit of fun. You can go on to the website and download it. I think it's 99p or something.
Is it available on all platforms?
Yes, that's right. You can get it on all, anywhere you want to, all the usual platforms.
And the track is called Sounds Inspired, am I right?
Sounds Inspired, yeah, that's right.
Pete, before we hear it, I've just got one question before we hear the track, right? Because the Mental Health Matters feature, it is about offering help, and this yellow book is a massive resource for people to get hold of. If you do want to get hold of the yellow book or you want more information about it, head over to the website, rethinkyourmind.co.uk. But Pete, what I want to ask you is just one question about what people should do. So, let's put it in the mind of the person. You said yourself, you struggled earlier on in life 16 years ago. What should somebody do if they start to feel snowed under and, like they can't breathe? What's the first thing that somebody should do?
I would say that if there's somebody that you can really trust and that you feel very open with, that you feel that you could maybe talk to them about it, if you don't feel that, there's quite a number of helplines out there now that you can feel that you can be able to give them a call and speak anonymously to people. That can be very helpful, but also to be very kind to yourself and just to be fully aware that it's a very natural thing. It's a very normal thing for us to be off balance and to be off kilter and to be very kind of gentle with yourself in the process, really, and try and look after yourself as much as you can, and to help, if you can, to prioritize those things that are very that can really help to uplift us and to bring us. Because once we're feeling in those better positions, and we're feeling that bit lighter, we can learn different things that can help to support us. But when we are in those very kind of low cruxes and maybe we don't have that sort of awareness, it's very important that we can, like as you said at the beginning, to share that load can help, especially if it's somebody that it's got to really be somebody that you can really trust and feel open with, because some people feel awkward about doing that because it's almost putting it on the other person in some ways, but it can be a really helpful for both of you to be able to work through it and
totally
also
agree.
to find.
I totally agree, Pete. I totally agree. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Keep in touch. Come back on the show in a couple of months' time. We'll talk about the Yellow Book again, talk about what else is going on with Rethink Your Mind. Pete, can you please introduce your song here on BBC Radio Leicester?
Well, this is introducing you to Sounds Inspired by Rethink Your Mind and all those amazing music artists and people that came together to create this song.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Pete. Look after yourself.
Music is the sound, connects inside of me, resonates, invites good feelings in. What inspires us is unique to us. So many ways that make us feel alive. And the more I choose to be, staying close to all of the sounds that are making you feel alive, connects with me, that sounds inspired.
Expressing the things that inspire, uplifting me, uplifting you, here and now.
Treasure the things that inspire, connecting you, connecting me, here and now. Music is the sound, connects inside of me, resonates, invites good feelings in. What inspires us is unique to us. So many ways that make us feel alive.
And the more I seem to see, stay right close to all of the ways that are making you feel alive. Connects with you, that sounds inspired.
I hope you're like me, and that song has put a lovely smile across your face. That is that sounds inspired, and it's such a brilliant song, twinned with such an amazing mental health resource, the Yellow Book. Okay, get yourself onto www.rethinkyourmind.co.uk for all the information that me and Pete talked about.
The sound of Leicester.
Together, we can make a difference. BBC Radio Leicester.